Hello, and thank you for joining us for this week's edition of It's Your City. I'm your host, Cortney Bloomer. Today's episode is brought to you by Greenhouse Garden Center on Curry Street in Carson City. Visit Greenhouse Garden Center for all of your gardening needs, from plants and soil amendments to shrubs and trees to complete your landscape. Greenhouse Garden Center is a full-service garden center right here in Carson City. Our guest this week on the show is Carol Scott. She's here to talk about the exciting show that's coming to Carson City,
amazing.
Newsies.
Yes, hi. Thanks for having me. We are hard in rehearsals right now for Newsies, one of the biggest shows we've ever done. It is not, usually we're a children's theater company, and we start at age 5 and we usually go to 18. And our production of Newsies is actually the full Broadway version. So we are not restricted to an age limit. Since we're still a children's theater, we took it up to age 21 for our youth actors, but we did throw in a couple adult actors for some of those meatier men parts that we need for like Pulitzer and things like that.
Yes, yeah. William Randolph Hearst and Mr. Pulitzer.
Yes.
When Newsies came out in 1992, it was unlike anything that had come out before. It was a fantastic show. The dancing, the music, it was so dynamic. How do you convey that and the scenes of New York on the stage here in Carson?
Well, it's pretty easy when you have a group like we do. We have over 80 young people, and I have to tell you that the dancing that they do has blown me away. We have 2 choreographers for this production because it's so big. We had to divide up the huge dance numbers, the energy of the numbers, the songs. We have built an amazing 2-story set. So it's quite a production, and it takes a village. We're really doing it.
Absolutely. So the story of Newsies, for people who maybe want a brief synopsis, is a story about the newspaper boys' strike that took place in New York City.
Yes, the early 1900s.
And it brings that to life and the struggle with child labor, but it's not a heavy...
Right.
It's not a heavy plot. It's a really fun show about really overcoming adversity and triumph.
It's a David and Goliath story. These group of Newsies, which were actually historically women, young boys and young girls, they were 5-year-olds out there selling papers. They were orphans. And they actually went up against the giants of the publishing industry when they wanted to raise the how much the papes cost. And so they would get less money in to eat. And they went up against these huge people and actually won. It's a true story. So, and the Broadway, we're doing the Broadway version, and it's amazing how much uplifting songs and dances there are and how much fun this musical is. I mean, you can't not smile when you see some of these characters up on stage.
There is a ton of energy. So tell us a little bit about some of the fantastic local kids that are bringing this to life.
Oh, gee. Well, like I said, we have over 80 young people in the production. We have a lot of high school students that came out for this production, and boys. Unfortunately, in musical theater, it's hard to get those boys, especially the older boys. Everybody is so busy when they get to high school. We got out the most auditioners for boys in this for this production. It was amazing. So we have very, very strong leads. We have some beautiful singers for Catherine, who is a beautiful soprano, and she's Jack's love interest, and Jack's our lead newsie. And our Newsies are ages 10 and up. If you would see some of these cute little kids playing these New York Newsies on stage, they're all just amazing.
Tell us a little bit about Wild Horse Children's Theater. That's the group that's putting on the show. Tell us a little bit about the group's history and what they've done here in Carson.
Well, Wild Horse Children's Theater is in our 11th season. We actually started Backstage Kids over 20 years ago, and then we morphed into Wild Horse Children's Theater, so we're in our 11th season. And we have won international awards with our performing troupe that goes to the Junior Theater Festival West. We've won the Freddie G. Award of Excellence in Ensemble and also in Vocal. So, and this group of kids are the most talented, enthusiastic, and passionate about their craft. So we're very proud of them and very proud of our history. We are the residence theater company at the Brewery Arts Center, where we do most of our main stage shows. Newsies, however, is so big, we couldn't put it on at the Brewery Arts Center. So we're actually doing it at the Carson City Community Center. And we got a grant from redevelopment in Carson City to actually do it at the community center.
And tell us how we can get tickets to the show.
Okay. You can go to our website, which is www.wildhorsetheater.com, and click on the tickets button. Tickets are on sale now. And you can also get them at the door. The community center is huge. I love that we may sell out, but I would say get your tickets ahead of time. If not, come on over to the theater and get them at the door. We run for 2 weekends, end of June, beginning of July.
Show opens on June 28th. That's a Friday. Right. There are going to be Friday evening shows and 2 shows on Saturday, and then a Sunday matinee.
That's correct.
All right. So for 2 weekends. So people have 8 chances to come and see the show. Right. Visit the website, get tickets.
Yeah.
This is a fantastic production.
Seize the day.
Seize the day. Seize the day.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. I'm very proud of them, proud of my whole crew, my whole staff. We have put together a phenomenal production, and I think it's going to blow Carson City away.
Carson City is really kind of a hotbed of great local theater. We have, of course, the Western Nevada Musical Theater Company. We have Youth Theater Carson City, and of course, Wild Horse Children's Theater.
We're very fortunate.
So a lot of really great opportunities here for people to get involved in the arts. And many of the kids who participate in Wild Horse Children's Theater go on to pursue theatrical things.
Yes. We have students that grew up with Wild Horse that are in LA right now or in New York or doing some tours on cruise ships. I mean, we've seen them grow from little 5-year-olds to graduating college in the arts. And some of them that don't even do that have amazing jobs because they're involved in theater.
Absolutely. So such a character builder for kids.
It builds everything in children. It's wonderful.
So this production is already cast. It's in rehearsal. It's coming. But if kids want to get involved in Wild Horse Children's Theater for an upcoming production, what do they need to do? Okay,
well, we are very excited about our next production, and we are very scared because we're probably going to get millions of children. We're doing Disney's Frozen Junior.
Ooh.
And it just came out. It's still on Broadway. They very rarely release a show for the Junior collection if it's still on Broadway. But because of the Junior Theater Festival, we were able to get the first rights to it. So we're one of the first theater companies in the country to do that show. So we will be auditioning for that beginning of September, ages 5 to 18, and let it snow. we will go. Let it go, and it will snow, in the castles in Frozen. So.
And Frozen is going to be the winter show. And
that's our winter show.
What a timely and appropriate thing to do in the winter here in Carson City.
It's going to be wonderful.
All right.
And magical.
All right, so Frozen is the next up, but right now, opening June 28th, Newsies at the Carson City Community Theater, put on by Wild Horse Children's Theater. Thank you so much, Carol, for being here.
Thank you.
All right, and thanks to all of you for joining us for this week's edition of It's Your City. Our show today was sponsored by Greenhouse Garden Center on Curry Street in Carson City. Visit greenhousegardencenter.com to see all their upcoming classes and workshops that are happening, or to just get an idea of the services that are offered at Greenhouse Garden Center. If your business is interested in sponsoring a future edition of It's Your City, please contact Darla at the address shown on your screen. I'm your host, Cortney Bloomer. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next week.